But halfway down the aisle, something began to change. The shimmer of the dress intensified, becoming almost blinding. Remy's smile faltered as she felt a strange heat emanating from the fabric. The guests nearest to her aisle seats began to shift uncomfortably, their expressions morphing from admiration to unease. By the time she reached the altar, whispers had overtaken the ceremonial music. Remy could feel the change herself now, the fabric seeming to tighten around her, the beadwork growing hot against her skin. When she turned to face the audience, the truth of Adana's magic revealed itself. To everyone present, Remy no longer appeared as a beautiful bride. Instead, they saw her inner nature manifested, a woman whose ambition had twisted her soul, whose greed had corrupted her beauty. Some would later describe seeing a serpent in a wedding dress, others a corpse bride with hollow eyes. Each person saw a different manifestation of malevolence, but all recognized the truth. This was a union built on calculation rather than love, on acquisition rather than affection. Screams erupted as Remy's appearance continued to transform. The groom backed away in horror, his family rising from their seats in alarm. Remy, unaware of what others were seeing, felt only the burning of the dress against her skin, saw only the revulsion on the faces surrounding her. "What's happening?" she screamed, clawing at the fabric that now seemed fused to her body. From the back of the hall, Adana watched calmly, dressed in simple but elegant white lace, almost unnoticeable among the panicked guests. As chaos erupted, she slipped away, returning to celestial threads where her ancient loom awaited. The wedding dissolved into scandal. Footage captured on guests' phones, showing what appeared to be a monster in a wedding dress, went viral despite attempts to suppress it. The political alliance between the families collapsed, with each side blaming the other for the humiliation. Remy disappeared from public view, the dress eventually removed only with Adana's intervention, though it left intricate, scale-like scars across her skin, a permanent reminder of the truth her soul had revealed. In the aftermath, when the scandal had somewhat subsided, a strange thing happened. Rather than destroying Adana's reputation, her waiting list grew longer. Now, mothers brought their daughters not just for beautiful gowns, but for judgment. If your heart is pure, her creations will make you shine like the morning star, people said. But if darkness lurks within you, beware. Adana continued her work, selecting clients with even greater care. Most received gowns of blessing, but occasionally, when someone like Remy crossed her threshold, someone whose soul was twisted by greed or cruelty, Adana would smile her serene smile and reach again for the ancient loom. 10 years after Femi's wedding, a young journalist named Bimbo managed to secure an interview with the Lekki reclusive fashion designer, hoping to uncover the secrets behind the infamous wedding of horrors that still haunted Lagos social circles. "They say you're a witch," Bimbo stated boldly, her recorder placed on the table between them in Adana's elegantly appointed office. "That you punish brides who don't meet your moral standards." Adana smiled, looking no older than she had a decade ago. I simply create garments that reveal the truth. Is it punishment to be seen for who you truly are? And who decides what truth deserves revelation? Bimbo pressed. What gives you the right to expose some while blessing others? The designer's smile deepened as she leaned forward. Perhaps that's the wrong question, child. Ask instead, what happens to those who wield power without conscience? Who decides they are the arbiters of fate? As she spoke, the room seemed to darken despite the afternoon sun streaming through the windows. Bimbo felt a chill run down her spine as she noticed something unusual. Adana's shadow on the wall didn't match her seated position. Instead, it stretched and contorted, forming what appeared to be multiple figures crowded together. "What are you?" Bimbo whispered, her journalistic courage faltering. Adana's eyes gleamed with an ancient light. "I am justice woven into fabric. I am consequence dressed in beauty." She gestured around the showroom. "For generations, my family has maintained balance. Some call it witchcraft. I call it necessary correction in a world where the powerful rarely face consequences." In my private workshop at the top floor, accessible only to me, stood an ancient loom crafted from wood so dark it absorbs light. The loom is a gift from my grandmother, who had received it from her grandmother before her, stretching back through generations of powerful women in my family line. "With great power comes great temptation," my grandmother warned on her deathbed. "Remember that whatever you weave into the fabric for others will eventually be woven into your own destiny." For 20 years, I had heeded this warning, using my supernatural gift to create beauty and blessings until I started meeting with clients with ulterior motives. As my client, I see through you, and if your motives are of good for the society, I will burn sweet-smelling herbs and recite prayers of blessing before beginning my work on that fabric. But if for a wrong cause, there was a long pause, I would reach out for a small obsidian box hidden beneath the floorboards in the loom. Inside lay objects I had collected from my grandmother: a scorpion's tail, dried petals from a corpse flower, and a vial of tears shed in hatred. Into each fabric, woven threads are dipped in the bitter tears. Between layers of the finest lace, place the scorpion's tail, grinding it to a powder that is dusted across the bodice. The corpse flower petals would dissolve into the beading solution, ensuring that each crystal caught the malevolent essence. She stood, her movements fluid and somehow unsettling. But power corrupts, does it not? Even power wielded in the name of justice. As she moved toward the journalist, her shadow continued to twist independently on the wall. "I've delivered retribution to 37 brides over the decades, each deserving, each revealed." Her voice dropped to a whisper. "But with each cursed woven, the loom takes something from me, my humanity, my restraint." She extended a hand toward the terrified journalist, who noticed with horror that Adana's fingers seemed abnormally long, the nails curved like talons. "Soon, I will need to find an apprentice, someone to inherit the loom, to continue the work. Someone with a keen sense of justice and the courage to wield it. Her eyes fixed on Bimbo with frightening intensity. Perhaps someone like you, who seeks truth so determinedly. Bimbo scrambled to her feet, grabbing her recorder. I should go. Adana nodded, her form seeming to flicker in the late afternoon light. Consider my offer. Lagos needs its guardian. The loom must always have a keeper. As Bimbo fled the building with the recorder clutched in her trembling hand, she realized with dawning horror that the interview hadn't recorded, just static. Behind her, just immediately, she saw celestial threads vanished into thin air together with its proprietor. They vanished without a trace. Some say if you wander the streets of Lagos late at night, you might glimpse an elderly woman wrapped in color-shifting fabric carrying a wooden loom. They say she appears to young designers with extraordinary talent, offering them a gift that comes with both blessing and warning. Remember that whatever you weave into the fabric for others will eventually be woven into your own destiny. For in Lagos, as in all great cities, power thrives in shadow and truth is the most valuable fabric of all. Stronger than silk, more precious than gold, and more dangerous than the sharpest blade. And somewhere, perhaps, Adana continues her work.